South Africa's political tensions surrounding the Fala Fala scandal have intensified dramatically after fresh criticism emerged, accusing President Cyril Ramaphosa of using legal tactics to delay accountability and protect his presidency from a potentially devastating impeachment process. The accusations come after Ramaphosa confirmed that he would once again challenge aspects of the Section 89 independent panel findings through judicial review, following the explosive Constitutional Court ruling that reopened the Fala Fala process. And critics say the move is not about clearing his name. They argue it is about buying time. Political analyst and academic Prof. Sipho Sepe described the president's legal strategy as a masterclass in deception and obfuscation, claiming Ramaphosa's latest court move is designed to weaken parliamentary momentum and drag the scandal through years of litigation. The remarks have now added even more political fuel to an already explosive national debate about accountability, constitutionalism, and the future of Ramaphosa's leadership. Because the Fala Fala crisis is no longer just a legal issue, it has become a battle over political survival. At the center of the growing controversy is the Section 89 Independent Panel report, chaired by retired Chief Justice Sandile Ngobo. Back in 2022, the panel concluded that there was prima facie evidence suggesting Ramaphosa may have violated the Constitution and anti-corruption laws in relation to the now infamous burglary at his Fala Fala game farm in Limpopo. The report represented one of the most serious constitutional threats ever faced by a sitting South African president in the democratic era. But despite the explosive findings, Parliament voted against establishing a full impeachment inquiry after ANC MPs overwhelmingly protected Ramaphosa during a highly controversial vote in December 2022. Now, years later, South Africa's Constitutional Court has ruled that Parliament acted unlawfully when it blocked that impeachment process, and suddenly the Fala Fala scandal is back at the center of national politics. Critics argue that Ramaphosa's response reveals a carefully calculated political strategy. According to analysts, the president's new judicial review application could slow down Parliament's revived impeachment process while legal battles continue through the courts. And because court reviews can take months or even years, the concern among Ramaphosa's opponents is that the legal process itself may become a political shield. Prof. Sepe argues that this is exactly the intention. He claims Ramaphosa originally approached the Constitutional Court in 2022 not to aggressively clear his name, but to create political space for ANC MPs to justify blocking impeachment proceedings at the time. Once Parliament voted in Ramaphosa's favor, the urgency around the legal challenge appeared to fade. And that sequence of events is now being heavily scrutinized again, following the Constitutional Court's latest ruling. The president, however, strongly rejects suggestions that he is avoiding accountability. Ramaphosa has repeatedly insisted that he is acting within his constitutional rights and argues that judicial review is necessary because he believes the original Section 89 process itself was legally flawed. In recent public remarks, the president said resigning under pressure would undermine constitutional principles and due process. "I will not resign," Ramaphosa declared defiantly earlier this week as political pressure intensified across the country. But opposition parties remain unconvinced. The Economic Freedom Fighters says the Constitutional Court ruling exposed how Parliament unlawfully shielded Ramaphosa from accountability. Meanwhile, the Democratic Alliance has vowed to participate fully in any revived impeachment proceedings, insisting that no political leader should be above constitutional scrutiny. Inside the ANC itself, tensions are reportedly growing. Some party members continue defending Ramaphosa as essential for stability, especially within the fragile Government of National Unity formed after the ANC lost its outright parliamentary majority. Others fear the continuing scandal is damaging the ANC's credibility at a critical political moment. And, privately, some ANC insiders reportedly worry that the Fala Fala matter could evolve into the party's next major internal leadership crisis. Because every time the scandal returns to headlines, it revives uncomfortable questions about ethics, transparency, and selective accountability inside South Africa's governing party. The original scandal itself remains politically explosive. The controversy began after a burglary at Ramaphosa's Fala Fala in 2020, where large amounts of foreign currency linked to a buffalo sale were allegedly stolen from hidden furniture on the property. Questions surrounding the origin of the money, how the theft was handled, and whether state resources were improperly used afterward transformed the incident into a constitutional and political crisis. Ramaphosa has consistently maintained that the funds came from legitimate business transactions and denies any criminal wrongdoing. But politically, the issue has refused to disappear. And now, with the Constitutional Court effectively reviving the impeachment path, the president faces one of the most dangerous periods of his presidency. Political analysts warn that prolonged legal warfare between Ramaphosa, parliament, and opposition parties could destabilize South Africa's political environment even further. The country is already facing economic pressure, coalition uncertainty, public frustration over corruption, and rising distrust in political institutions. Against that backdrop, the Fala Fala has become larger than one scandal. It is now viewed by many South Africans as a national test of whether constitutional accountability truly applies equally at the highest level of power. And as Ramaphosa prepares for another major legal battle, one political reality is becoming increasingly clear. The president may have survived the first wave of the Fala Fala crisis, but the second wave could prove far more dangerous.